Marhaba, Your Excellency, Mr. Mohammed Amir, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Morocco to Belgium and Luxembourg. Your Excellency, Mr. Ahmed Reda Shami, Ambassador of the Kingdom of Morocco to the European Union. Your Excellency, Mr. Karim Zidane, Minister Delegate to the Head of Government in charge of Investment, Convergence and Evaluation of Public Policies. Mr. Ali Sadiki, General Director of the Moroccan Investment and Export Development Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, or as I said, marhaba. It is a fantastic evening to have you with us here today, and welcome to Morocco and Europe, partners in shaping regional growth through strategic alliances. My name is Jane Witherspoon. I'm the Managing Editor for Euronews in the Middle East, Central Asia and South Caucasus, and it is great to be here tonight and see so many smiling faces looking back at me. Now, this gathering promises to bring together prominent leaders, policymakers and strategic stakeholders to explore new opportunities for cooperation for economic growth between Morocco and Europe, a powerful and evolving partnership. We're going to be talking about innovation, investment and entrepreneurship as we hear how they converge to shape the future of regional growth. Now, this dynamic alliance is founded on shared goals of economic development, regional stability and sustainability, with Morocco's strategic position at the crossroads of Europe, Africa and the Middle East, acting as a natural hub for collaboration. In addition, we're going to be spotlighting the inspiring journeys of Moroccan entrepreneurs who've successfully made their mark across Europe, shaping industries, challenging norms and contributing to a shared vision of progress. So before we get started, we would like to thank a few people. AMDI, Moroccan Investment and Export Development Agency, please put your hands together. Morocco Now, another round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. And the Ministry of Investment, Convergence and Evaluation of Public Policies, the Government of Morocco. So we do have a few house notes before we get started. The toilets, as you will have probably found out, were by the photo wall as you made your way in. I hope you enjoyed your welcome drinks. Hold them in for a little bit longer, please. Can you please also make sure that your phones are on silent? As we mentioned, we are going to do some live recordings tonight. One of the interviews will also be in German, so there are interpretation cassettes machines on your seats, so please do feel free to use them if you need them. And with that, let's get proceedings underway, and I'm delighted to welcome to the stage His Excellency Mohammed Amir, Ambassador to the Kingdom of Morocco to Belgium and Luxembourg, with his opening address. Your Excellency, please welcome. Thank you.
Excellences, Mesdames et Messieurs, chers partenaires et amis, c'est avec un grand honneur et une sincère satisfaction de vous accueillir aujourd'hui pour ce séminaire de haut niveau qui s'inscrit dans une dynamique nouvelle et ambitieuse de partenariat entre le Maroc et l'Europe, et plus particulièrement avec la Belgique. Le thème que nous abordons aujourd'hui illustre parfaitement la volonté partagée de nos deux pays d'élever leurs relations économiques à un niveau supérieur, plus structuré, plus stratégique et surtout plus en phase avec l'intensité de nos liens historiques, humains et politiques. Il y a quelques années, à l'occasion de la mission économique belge au Maroc en 2018, un constat clair et partagé avait émerger. Nous avons tous reconnu que le volume des échanges commerciaux entre le Maroc et la Belgique restait modeste et en décalage avec la richesse de nos relations politiques, humaines et culturelles. Ce constat d'autant plus frappant que dans le même temps, les relations économiques du Maroc avec d'autres partenaires européens connaissaient une dynamique remarquable. La question s'est donc posée naturellement. Pourquoi les relations économiques maroco-belges ne suivent-elles pas la même trajectoire que l'excellence de nos liens globaux? 3 éléments ont alors été identifiés. 1. Une méconnaissance persistante des opportunités offertes par le Maroc, malgré les profondes transformations qu'a connues le Royaume. Le paradoxe est là. 1 500 000 Belges et Belgo-Marocains ont visité le Maroc en 2024. Mais le Maroc réel, le Maroc des réformes, le Maroc du mouvement, le Maroc de la stabilité des opportunités, le Maroc qui ose, reste encore mal connu du tissu entrepreneurial belge, tout comme la Belgique, des opportunités et des affaires restent mal explorées par le tissu entrepreneurial marocain. 2. Une perception erronée chez certains milieux d'affaires qui considèrent encore le Maroc comme une chasse gardée d'autres puissances européennes. Or, la doctrine du Maroc a toujours été celle de l'ouverture, de la diversification des partenaires, de la neutralité stratégique dans ses choix économiques. 3. L'absence de mécanismes bilatéraux solides de suivi et d'accompagnement, à l'image de ceux que le Maroc a mis en place avec d'autres pays. Cette carence a limité notre capacité à structurer dans la durée une coopération économique efficace. Mesdames et messieurs, à partir de ce constat lucide, des actions concrètes ont été entreprises pour corriger ces déséquilibres et poser les bases d'une coopération économique bilatérale durable. Il y a d'abord un programme de communication ciblé a été lancé à destination des entreprises et des fédérations patronales belges afin de mieux connaître le Maroc en tant que destination d'investissement moderne, compétitive et durable. Il y a ensuite la nomination de 3 consuls honoraires dans le bassin du Benelux, tous issus de milieux proches du monde des affaires. Cette nomination a permis de tisser un réseau local actif de promotion économique à l'image de l'expérience réussie avec Dursim, piloté par notre consul honoraire Daniel Terman, qui illustre comment des synergies intelligentes peuvent faire émerger de véritables success stories. Il y a aussi, nous avons aussi multiplié les missions économiques thématiques avec une forte implication des régions, en particulier la Flandre. Cette dynamique a abouti à la signature en 2023 à Bruxelles d'un mémorandum d'entente dans le domaine de l'environnement et du développement durable, un secteur clé pour les 2 pays. Ici, de noter à cet égard 2 éléments clés. Dans les prochains jours, cet élan sera concrétisé à un niveau plus élevé, avec la signature d'un accord de coopération institutionnelle entre les 2 gouvernements, marocain et flamand, ouvrant ainsi la voie à une programmation commune à des projets structurants et un dialogue stratégique régulier. Ce nouvel accord revêt également une dimension géopolitique inédite. Il s'agit du premier partenariat de coopération bilatérale signé par la Flandre en dehors de sa zone géographique traditionnelle de coopération, historiquement centrée sur l'Afrique centrale. Ce choix marque une reconnaissance du Maroc comme partenaire stratégique dans la région euro-méditerranéenne, mais aussi comme acteur structurant au sein du continent africain. Il y a également la création ou l'accompagnement de la création de l'Association des Amis du Maroc, qui ouvre pour le dialogue, la compréhension mutuelle et l'échange d'idées entre les deux sociétés. Je saisis d'ailleurs cette occasion pour évoquer la soirée du 23 mai dernier, au cours de laquelle nous avons honoré la trajectoire exceptionnelle de M. André Azoulay, artisan du vivre ensemble et pont vivant entre les cultures. Enfin, quel résultat? Depuis 2017, les échanges économiques entre le Maroc et la Belgique ont connu une dynamique de croissance continue, traduisant les effets combinés d'un engagement politique renouvelé, d'initiatives bilatérales concrètes et d'un intérêt accru des milieux d'affaires. En 7 ans, les échanges commerciaux bilatéraux ont quasiment doublé, passant d'environ 1,5 milliard d'euros en 2017 à plus de 2,8 milliards d'euros en 2024, soit une hausse globale de près de 90%. Cette progression se manifeste des deux côtés. Les exportations belges ont évolué et sont passées de 900 millions d'euros à 1,5 milliard en 2024. Les importations belges en provenance du Maroc ont quant à elles connu une croissance encore plus marquée et sont passées d'environ 600 millions d'euros en 2017 à 1,3 milliard en 2024. Cette évolution reflète la montée en puissance du Made in Morocco, notamment dans les secteurs de transport, de la chimie, des textiles et des équipements industriels. Mais malgré cette évolution, le potentiel de développement reste considérable. Aujourd'hui, toutes les conditions sont réunies pour franchir un cap décisif. Il y a d'abord une volonté politique claire et assumée lors de la haute commission mixte tenue à Rabat en 2024, présidée par nos deux premiers ministres. La Belgique et le Maroc ont exprimé leur engagement à construire un partenariat stratégique, global, multidimensionnel et tourné vers l'avenir. Cet engagement a été réaffirmé dans la déclaration de politique générale de l'actuel gouvernement belge, marquant ainsi la continuité de cette orientation. 2. La question du Sahara atlantique marocain, enjeu central pour le Royaume, constitue aussi un point d'inflexion. Depuis 2022, la Belgique a pris une posture courageuse vis-à-vis de la question, en déclarant que le plan d'autonomie présenté par le Royaume du Maroc en 2007 est un effort sérieux et crédible et une bonne base pour une solution acceptée par les parties. Ce signal positif devrait à l'avenir évoluer vers une reconnaissance encore plus explicite à la faveur d'un engagement sincère du gouvernement actuel. Une telle évolution créerait un climat propice aux investisseurs belges, y compris dans les provinces du Sud, riches en potentiel dans les domaines des énergies renouvelables, de la pêche, du tourisme et de l'agro-industrie. 3. La communauté belgo-marocaine est un levier puissant de développement durable. Forte de 800 000 personnes bien intégrées, il constitue une passerelle humaine, économique et culturelle entre nos deux pays. En 2024, nous célébrions les 60 ans de l'accord bilatéral sur la main-d'œuvre. Ce fut une occasion unique pour mettre en lumière le rôle que jouent aujourd'hui les jeunes entrepreneurs issus de l'immigration dans le raffermissement des relations économiques entre nos deux pays. Cette même dynamique est à même de générer une manne importante qui vise à faire profiter les écosystèmes économiques de la Belgique et du Maroc. Enfin, il devient urgent de structurer durablement les relations économiques entre nos deux pays. Cela pourrait passer par la mise en place d'un conseil économique conjoint, d'un mécanisme de dialogue public-privé régulier et de points focaux institutionnels bilatéraux pour le suivi des projets, à l'instar du projet sur lequel les institutions parlementaires de nos deux pays sont en train de concevoir pour renforcer les échanges entre les acteurs politiques. Il est essentiel désormais de prolonger cette dynamique en passant, à l'instar de l'événement d'aujourd'hui, d'initiatives ponctuelles à une approche structurée axée sur la proximité, la visibilité et la lisibilité des opportunités. Nous devons travailler ensemble à une meilleure communication sur le projet en cours au Maroc, qu'il soit lié à la transition énergétique, à l'agro-industrie, aux infrastructures ou aux technologies, afin de les faire connaître de manière ciblée et proactive auprès des investisseurs belges. L'objectif est clair, faire émerger un agenda bilatéral partagé, lisible et opérationnel, capable d'orienter l'investissement belge vers les secteurs les plus porteurs de valeur, d'emploi et d'impact durable. Ces outils devraient permettre de passer d'une logique d'événementiel à une logique de programmation dans une perspective de long terme. Mesdames et messieurs, nous sommes à un moment charnière. L'histoire et les peuples nous ont rapprochés. Il est temps désormais de bâtir ensemble un partenariat économique d'excellence fondé sur la confiance, la réciprocité, l'ambition partagée d'une croissance durable. Je vous remercie de votre attention.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for that fantastic start to our evening. And as we move things along, we're getting ready to have our first live recording of the evening. The Europe Conversation is Euronews' flagship in-depth interview program featuring the most important personalities discussing the world and Europe's situation and the crucial challenges that we face. Broadcasting on Euronews channel in 12 languages, German and subtitled in English, French, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Greek, Polish, Hungarian, and Russian and Farsi and Arabic. It will also be available on Euronews' website and social media a little bit later after the recording. Now, the format will consist of a one-on-one interview with His Excellency Karim Zidan, Minister Delegate to the Head of Government in charge of investment, convergence and evaluation of public policies. Welcome. Please have a seat. Please do. And without further ado, my esteemed colleague, please put your hands together for Stefan Grove, who's going to conduct this session.
Love it.
Good evening and welcome to this edition, this special edition of the Europe Conversation. And thank you all for joining us here in this wonderful establishment. I am excited for this interview. I am excited to learn about the Moroccan experience, excited to learn about the Moroccan perspective. I'm also excited to be able to conduct this interview in German. Never, ever before has an international leader or politician asked me to do this in Germany, outside of Belgium, I mean. So, without much further ado, please welcome again the Minister Delegate to the Head of Government in charge of investment, convergence and the evaluation of public policies, Mr. Karim Zidan. Willkommen noch einmal zu unserer Sendung The Europe Conversation. Es freut mich sehr, dass Sie hier sind.
Die Freude auf meiner Seite. Vielen Dank.
Wir müssen den Leuten natürlich sagen, warum wir Deutsch sprechen. Der Minister hat einen großen Teil seiner wirtschaftlichen Laufbahn, seiner beruflichen Laufbahn in Deutschland verbracht, mehr als 30 Jahre, in der Automobilindustrie vor allem. Ich würde gerne wissen, was haben Sie in dieser Zeit gelernt? Was hat Sie geprägt, was Sie in Ihrem heutigen Job nutzen können für Ihr Land?
Vielen Dank. Erstmal alle herzlich willkommen hier. Ich bin sehr begeistert und froh und glücklich, hier zu sein. Ich muss erstmal eins sagen, warum ich hier Deutsch spreche. Das ist auch eine Botschaft. Wir sprechen hier über Marokko now. Wir machen Werbung für Marokko. Und gleichzeitig, wir werden später zeigen, was Marokko auszeichnet. Einer der wichtigsten Stärken Marokkos ist seine Diaspora, seine Leute, die gut ausgebildet sind. Wir sprechen über 6 Millionen Marokkaner und Marokkanerinnen, die überall auf der Welt leben. Sie sind gut ausgebildet, sie besitzen Schlüsselpositionen in der Industrie, in Politik und so weiter und so fort. Und somit denke ich mal, das sind Menschen, die meistens beide Seiten kennen, die verstehen, wie die Europäer oder die Länder der Welt denken, was die Investoren benötigen, welche Sorgen sie haben, welche Nöte sie haben, welche Wünsche sie haben und verstehen auf der anderen Seite, wie Marokko funktioniert. Und die sind halt Brückenbauer. Und durch dieses Interview auf Deutsch will ich auch vermitteln, dass wir alle Sprachen der Welt sprechen in Marokko. Allah in meinem Kabinett, im Ministerium, wir sprechen natürlich Arabisch selbstverständlich, Französisch, Englisch, Deutsch, Italienisch, Spanisch. Und ein bisschen Deutsch. Japanisch auch. Das ist wirklich die Stärke Marokkos unter anderem.
Herr Minister, Sie sind zuständig für Investitionen, Konvergenz und Bewertung öffentlicher Maßnahmen. Also ich weiß, was Investitionen sind. Aber was macht ein Minister für Konvergenz und für die Bewertung öffentlicher Maßnahmen?
Ja, Sie werden mir nicht glauben, aber ich habe auch lange gebraucht, bis ich es verstanden habe. Natürlich ist ja die Nachhaltigkeit jede Politik ist wichtig und notwendig. Wir sprechen nicht über eine politische Maßnahme, die für eine bestimmte Zeit gilt, sondern auch über die Nachhaltigkeit dieser Maßnahmen und vor allem über die Zusammenhänge mit anderen Sektoren. Es kann nicht sein, dass wir als Investitionsministerium etwas auf dem Boden oder also etwas etablieren und gleichzeitig wir haben zum Beispiel die nötigen Ressourcen nicht durch die Ministerium für Bildung oder für Ausbildung. Wir haben nicht die Infrastruktur dafür, für unsere Investitionsvorhaben. Deswegen ist diese Konvergenz bedeutet einfach, dass jede Politik, die gemacht wird, muss auch dann betrachten, dass andere Sektoren auch eine Wirkung oder Querwirkung haben und die müssen auch rechtzeitig und nachhaltig mit ans Boot genommen werden, sonst wäre diese Investition oder diese Politik nicht flächendeckend einsetzbar.
Wir haben es eingangs gehört, Marokko befindet sich an der Schnittstelle von Europa, Afrika und dem Atlantik. Es liegt in einer Region, die die Angelsachsen als MENA bezeichnen, Middle East, North Africa. Eine Region, die sich allgemein, ohne den Menschen nahtreten zu wollen, nicht als Hort der Stabilität auszeichnet, wohl aber Marokko. Woran liegt das? Was macht die Stabilität Marokkos aus, politisch und wirtschaftlich?
Ehrlich gesagt, Marokko ist erstmal eine sehr alte Monarchie. Wir reden über die zweitälteste Monarchie auf der Welt, nach Japan. Eine 12 Jahrhunderte alte Monarchie. Das ist der Garant für Stabilität, für Kontinuität vor allem. Der König, Sa Majesté, der König Mohammed VI, hat rechtzeitig die Maßnahmen eingeleitet. um die Stabilität des Landes auch zu fördern. Wir sprechen über politische Stabilität, politische Öffnung, aber auch dann Sachen wie nachhaltige wirtschaftliche Öffnung auf die Welt und soziale Stabilität auch. Also wir reden über Politik, Wirtschaft und soziale Stabilität. Das alles zusammen gibt einfach einen Nährboden für Stabilität. Wir in Marokko, wenn wir uns verpflichten, wir liefern auch, wir halten unsere Versprechen. Das hat Geschichte. Und somit ist einfach, sage ich mal, auf der anderen Seite ist der König, der diese Vision, große Vision mit sich trägt. Und auch das Volk, der Marokkaner, die ein offenes Land, offene Bevölkerung, die sind sehr warmherzig, die sind gastfreundlich, die sind auch stark arbeitend. Und das Ganze gibt letztendlich in Marokko eine wunderbare Stabilität.
Reden wir mal über Marokkos Wirtschaft. Was sind deren Stärken und was macht die Stärke der marokkanischen Wettbewerbsfähigkeit aus in der Region, in der sie sich befinden?
Wenn wir jetzt über Marokko sprechen als ein Land, der nur 14 Kilometer von Europa entfernt ist, das ist schon mal Punkt 1. Also die Stärke ist unsere Nähe zu Europa. Sie werden es verstehen, wenn Sie in der Früh um 8 Uhr aufstehen und Sie möchten einen Termin mit jemandem auf der anderen Seite vom Globus halten, dann müssen Sie entweder um 3 Uhr in der Früh aufstehen oder bis spät Abend bleiben, um so einen Termin wahrnehmen zu können. In Marokko, Sie haben die gleiche Zeitzone. Erstmal, Sie sind in 2 Stunden, Maximum 3 Stunden in Marokko, in Rabat, Casablanca oder umgekehrt. Sie haben in Marokko ein Land, wo einfach ungefähr 2,5 Milliarden Menschen erreicht werden durch unsere Freihandelsabkommen. Wir haben ca. 52 Freihandelsabkommen mit über 90 Ländern weltweit. Also wir haben Freihandelsabkommen mit Europa, aber gleichzeitig mit USA, mit Asien, mit afrikanischen Ländern. Und das ist wirklich eine der Stärken. Wir haben eine junge Bevölkerung. Wir reden über einen Altersdurchschnitt von 29 Jahren in Marokko. In Deutschland, das darf ich da sagen, liegt zwischen 45 und 47 Jahren. Also man sieht definitiv schon, wo die Vorteile sind. Daneben sind diese Menschen gut ausgebildet. Die sind so ausgebildet, dass sie den Bedarf des Marktes auch abdecken. Wir haben eine Öffnung auf die Infrastruktur. Wir haben den Hafen Tanger Med, der größte Hafen im Mittelmeerraum. Gleichzeitig bauen wir momentan den Dakhla Hafen, der letztendlich einen Korridor für viele Länder, afrikanische Länder bieten wird. Wir bauen unser Bahnnetz aus. Wir haben Straßen, die modernisiert werden, Autobahnen, die gebaut werden. Wir haben Flughäfen, die dazu gebaut werden, vergrößert werden. Wir haben Industriezonen, die überall hochsprießen. Also insgesamt ist Marokko ein Land, wo man sagt, das ist das Land der Investitionen. Wir haben auch einen Investitionscharta, also das Ministerium fördert auch die Investitionen in Marokko, indem er bestimmte Vorteile bietet. Und wenn man das alles zusammennimmt, dazu die politische Stabilität und die wirtschaftliche Stabilität.
Jetzt haben Sie viele grundsätzliche Dinge gesagt, Infrastruktur, die geografische Lage etc. Das hat mich jetzt neugierig gemacht. Sagen Sie doch mal ein paar Branchen, in denen sich Marokko stark fühlt.
Wenn Sie glauben, dass wir uns auf einen Sektor orientiert haben, dann irren Sie sich. Wir öffnen uns auf allen Bereichen. Also momentan Marokko ist Exportmeister im Automobilbereich. Also wir exportieren über 700.000 Autos und wir werden sehr bald die 1 Million Marke erreichen. Und das ist der größte Exporteur von Autos nach Europa. Also es ist wirklich ein bemerkenswerter Erfolg, was wir erreicht haben. Wir sind auch momentan im Bereich der erneuerbaren Energien sehr wettbewerbsfähig. Wir sind stark. Also wir haben das Land dahin gebracht, dass es dann letztendlich auch das Land für Wasserstoffproduktion. Und wir haben neulich den einen Projekt mit Total Energy unterzeichnet vom König Mohammed VI. Und Präsident Macron unterzeichnet. Und dieses Projekt ist wirklich sehr fortgeschritten. Also wir sind jetzt in den Studien sehr fortgeschritten. Gleichzeitig haben wir mit 6 anderen Konsortien unterschrieben, die letztendlich in den Sahara, marokkanischen Sahara investieren werden, in Laayoune, in Dakhla und in Guelmim. Das ist nur eins. Dann haben wir die Industrie, was die Pharmaindustrie, und wir sind, sag ich mal, Afrika-Meister in Produktion von Impfstoffen. Wir haben auch die Aeronautik. Also in Aeronautik ist Marokko einer der führendsten Länder. Und wir können mit Stolz sagen, dass wir bestimmte wichtige, einmalige Bauteile in Flugzeugen, jedes Flugzeug, was weltweit fliegt, ist ein Bauteil aus Marokko mit drin. Und somit haben wir eine Vielfalt neben den klassischen Industrien wie Agrarindustrie oder Tourismus, wo wir auch letztendlich in diesem Jahr Afrika-Meister geworden sind, mit 17,4 Millionen Touristen in Marokko.
Afrikameister, sehr schön.
Das kriegen wir auch.
Die 20er Jahre unseres Jahrhunderts haben eine Reihe von unglaublichen Umwälzungen gebracht. Ich nenne Covid, ich nenne den Krieg in der Ukraine, ich nenne alle Umwälzungen, die wir derzeit erleben. Was auch betroffen hat, die globalen Wertschöpfungsketten. Wie hat Marokko diese Jahre erlebt und wie sind Sie aus dieser Krise herausgekommen?
Also man sagt, eine Krise, was einem nicht umbringt, macht einem stark. Also wir sind sehr stark aus dieser Krise rausgekommen. Dank der Vision von dem König, auch hier, der hat einfach schnell das Land dahin gebracht, dass wir die Empfehlungen der Gesundheitsweltorganisation gefolgt haben. Also die Impfkampagne hat sehr stark und sehr am Anfang begonnen. Somit hat Marokko die höchste Quote in Afrika erreicht, ganz am Anfang. Gleichzeitig hat der König auch seine Vision dahin gebracht, dass die Leute müssen unterstützt werden, finanziell unterstützt werden, um diese Krise zu überbrücken. Nicht nur die Familien, sondern auch die Industrie oder die Firmen würden auch finanziell unterstützt, damit sie einfach ihre Existenz behalten können. Und gleichzeitig hat uns dahin gebracht, dass wir verstanden haben, was wir können und was wir erreichen müssen. Wo sind unsere Stärke, wo sind unsere Schwäche? Eine der Schwächen damals hatten wir, dass wir bestimmte Mittel nicht vorrätig hatten und gleichzeitig auch nicht produzieren konnten. Und Gott sei Dank durch den Einsatz vom Industrieministerium damals konnten wir in ein paar Wochen Masken nicht nur produzieren in Marokko mit den eigenen Mitteln, sondern auch nach Europa exportieren.
Marokko sieht sich selbst gern als glaubwürdiger Partner Europas, glaubwürdiger als andere Staaten. Warum?
Ganz einfach. Wenn wir versprechen, halten wir unser Versprechen. Wenn Sie nach Marokko kommen, Sie werden schnell feststellen, dass die Infrastruktur entspricht das, was Sie erwarten von einem Investitionsland. Unser Zusammenhalt mit den ganzen Ökosystemen, also die ganzen Leuten, die in der Kette arbeiten, um die Investitionen zu ermöglichen, arbeiten Hand in Hand. Wir sprechen über die Centres Régionaux d'Investissement, die überall in jeder Region in Marokko sind. Wir sprechen über die AMDE, die Agentur, um die Investitionen in Marokko zu fördern und nach außen zu verkaufen. Und das Ministerium auch. Also alles, was ein Investor braucht und benötigt, wird zur Verfügung gestellt. Wir begleiten den Investor vom ersten Tag bis zur Realisierung seiner Geschäfte. Und die Zahlen sprechen für uns.
Letzte Frage. Viele sehen Marokko als Tor zu Afrika. Welche Chancen ergeben sich daraus für Marokko und seine europäischen Partner?
Ich denke mal, das Tor zu Afrika ist gerechtfertigt. Auch hier hat der König die Vorarbeit geleistet. Der hat vor 13, 14 Jahren eine große Reise durch afrikanische Länder, um einfach die Marokko anzubieten als Begleiter für die Vision, was viele afrikanische Länder haben, um ihren Lebensstandard zu erhöhen. Und Marokko spielt hier als ein Beispiel, ein Role Model in den afrikanischen Ländern. Wir sprechen jetzt über ca. 30 Länder, wo marokkanische Firmen, Banken, Versicherungen, Industriefirmen im Agrarbereich tätig sind. Und sie sind nicht nur Investoren, um Geld rauszuholen, sondern die versuchen auch, und die tun es auch, die versuchen, den Standard der Länder nach oben zu bringen. Und diese Verbindung, dieser Zusammenhalt zwischen afrikanischen Ländern gibt Marokko diesen Vorreiterrolle, dieses Vorrecht, dass er für Investoren das Tor für Afrika sein kann.
Herr Minister, ganz herzlichen Dank für dieses Gespräch.
Ich danke vielmals. Dankeschön.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen, for that fantastic talk. How are you all enjoying the evening so far? Yes? Sticking with us, we've got lots more to come. And right now we're going to bring in our round table session titled Bridging Innovation and Investment, Strengthening EU-Morocco Economic Ties, which will be hosted by my colleague, Chris Burns. And I'm going to invite him onto the stage to join me before we bring his panel up. How are you doing,
hello,
Chris?
Jane.
Nice
How are
to have you.
you?
I'm great, thank you.
It's great to see you. Welcome back from Baku, right?
Fresh from Baku, but enough about my travels,
yeah.
because I heard a bit earlier that many moons ago,
Many moons.
you did a bit of backpacking through Morocco. Do you
I
want to
did.
enlighten us about that trip?
Backpacking when I was a student, and I took trains with a buddy of mine down across Morocco from Tanger to Casa to Marrakesh. It was an amazing experience, but I had in my mind before I went, I had Crosby, Stills and Nash, you know, Marrakesh Express, right? And I thought, okay, are there going to be like chickens and sheep in it? No, it was beautiful.
Well, you said it was air-conditioned
It was
trains.
air conditioned.
That
It was
doesn't sound like
air-conditioned.
backpacking
Already,
to
it was
me, Chris.
fantastic. And then if you've seen some of the pictures here, there's a TGV in Morocco as well. It shows you this dynamism that's been going on. And since then, I've been a journalist, I've gone back, I've reported on Morocco, seeing and showing this dynamism that exists. And that is what we're going to see in this film that we made.
You've been checking out some Moroccan entrepreneurs across Europe, is
That's
that right?
Moroccan entrepreneurs in Europe. Some were born here or in Morocco.
Yeah.
And they made good here in Europe, showing that dynamism that exists and the links and the ties between the EU and Morocco. Let's see it.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Come on.
The European Union is Morocco's largest trading partner, accounting for more than half of its goods trade. And the connection goes beyond economics, reflected in the presence of Moroccan-run businesses in Europe, across a wide range of professional sectors, from pharmaceuticals to tech and industry.
Hello and welcome to Focus. In this episode, we're talking to Moroccan entrepreneurs in Europe. They're building not only successful businesses, but economic and social bridges between Morocco and Europe.
In Belgium, Ilham Kadri leads Science Co., formerly part of the chemical giant Solvay. Originally from Casablanca, she pursued her studies in Strasbourg, where she earned a PhD in chemistry.
I had the honor to be born in Africa, in Morocco. And since young age, I was lucky to find my passion in science. So there is entrepreneurship in science. It's called exploration. That's why Science Co today, we don't call our employees, we call them explorer.
One example of that explorer's mindset is rethinking how we fly with a new zero-emissions aircraft. The hydrogen-powered Climate Impulse, co-piloted by Bertrand Piccard, is set to fly non-stop around the world in 2028.
a successor to his solar plane. It features ultralight composites, fuel cells, and batteries co-developed by Syensco with support from the Université Mohammed VI Polytechnique in Morocco.
And UMCSP is really a hub for talent. It's amazing. Each time I go there, I see those young people thirsty, willing to impact their country, going beyond.
In contrast, German-based angel investor Mohammadi Al-Kabach is turning to the over 50s. As CEO of Mohacan Ventures, he's behind Schöne Jahre, Beautiful Years, an online platform tailored to this growing demographic.
And when I founded it, that was in 2010, the agency is turning 15 this year, there was no emotional, authentic communication or media to honestly address and engage this target group.
Mohammadi also created a social network for pharmacists called Amira, meaning princess in Arabic. He co-founded the delivery firm Lieferheld, the German version of Delivery Hero, then sold his share to invest in other companies, and he did it all from humble beginnings.
My father, I have 6 siblings, wasn't able to fulfill every single child's wish, so I thought about how we could fulfill this wish by doing it myself.
And he hasn't forgotten his roots.
Success is a hard road with an extra mile that you have to walk. But you also have to share a portion of that success and give it back. Giving by building wells in Africa, supporting children's homes in Morocco, but also getting involved. How can you help shape the ecosystem in Morocco?
Also keeping strong ties to Morocco is Abdeslam Koulou in Paris. A French-born, Harvard-educated businessman and regular marathon runner, he founded the AK Group. It's made up of 22 firms in construction and engineering Abdeslam built from one electrical company.
One subsidiary focuses on connecting power plants to the electricity grid, so we'll connect nuclear, hydroelectric and thermal power plants. A second part will take care of burying the networks or building the electricity grids and maintaining them. And a third sub-company will take care of recruiting, training and advising our clients.
Abdeslam also supports the youth through philanthropic projects focused on skills and jobs, even for former prisoners.
By offering housing, training and employment, the mix of these 3 things ensures that we have no repeat offenders and that we have total success with this type of population.
Bringing know-how, innovation, creativity, and cultural heritage, Moroccan entrepreneurs are shaping key sectors across Europe and helping strengthen ties between the European Union, Morocco, and beyond. And for all those young people you're talking about, what advice do you have to them to succeed?
Be ambitious, have dreams, scary dreams, because if they are not scary, they are not big enough. Believe in yourself.
There's no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs and feel every step. And there's always a path for the entrepreneur to have a project, their own project, to not abandon it quickly, to believe in it, and that there are no limits. The sky's the limit.
Have scary dreams. Thank you, Ilham. And Abdeslam is with us as well. Abdeslam, where are you here? Can you stand up a second? There's Abdeslam. Go and say hi to him when this is all. Stand up, stand up, stand up, stand up. Abdeslam, oben, oben. Aufstehen, aufstehen. Entschuldigung, ich hätte das auf Deutsch sagen. Abdeslam. Danke. Mohammadi, Abdeslam, sorry, I mixed it up. Abdeslam in Paris could not make it, but he sends his regards. But Ilham is here. So Ilham, we're going to be talking about this dynamism. Let's bring up, let's start with Ilham Kadri, CEO of Syensco. Syensco. Yeah.
Good to see you
Nice
again.
to see you. It's an amazing company, and
Thank you.
chapeau. Now let's bring, I know, protocol, I should have brought you up first, Ambassador, but my apologies. Ambassador Ahmed Shami, please. Assalamu alaikum.
In fact, I wanted her to go first.
You did. Okay, you wanted her to go
thank
first.
you.
Thank you. That's great. Okay.
Ambassador to the Kingdom of Morocco to the European Union, ex-ministre de l'Industrie, du Commerce et de Nouvelles Technologies, n'est-ce pas? Engineering degree from the Centrale Paris, Grande École, MBA UCLA, my hometown.
Ah,
So welcome.
okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Stéphane Burton, s'il vous plaît. Stéphane Burton, who is CEO of Blueberry. The Blueberry Group is a holding company for different companies, including Sabena Aerospace, aircraft manufacturing and maintenance, and so forth. Welcome. Let me start with the ambassador. Ambassador, can I ask you, first of all, the association agreement between Europe and Morocco exists now for 25 years.
Yep.
That's a big agreement for trade, for aid also, has really helped to nouer le contact entre les deux, as they say in French. Where do you see, as it stands today, the economic ties between the EU and Morocco?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me on stage. Thanks to the IMD, thanks to Minister Zidane. Pleasure to be here, pleasure to be addressing this very, big crowd, big audience. Well, today, I believe that Morocco and the EU have succeeded to build in the last 50 years the most advanced partnership in the south of the Mediterranean. And the numbers speak by themselves. I mean, we export around 63% of our exports go to Europe.
To Europe, that's right.
And almost 48% of our imports are coming from Europe.
I saw a figure, it's altogether 60
So 60 billion.
60 billion.
Yeah.
I got it right.
You have the right number.
Good.
60 billion. And you add on top of that around, you can say, 15 billion of services.
Okay, right.
So we still have some trade deficit with Europe on the goods side, but it's not, we can say that if you add on top of it, we have a surplus on services, then we're almost there.
Then there are opportunities then for investment. Can
Sorry?
you note a couple of sectors that are good for investment?
Oh, there are a
All
lot of
investors out there.
sectors that are good for investment. I mean, I think that Minister Zidane have talked about them, but really I think that before going to the sectors themselves, I believe that we should do some, build a narrative, have some understanding why these sectors are good. You know that the world is changing. Ask Europe and ask them how they feel about, their trade relationship with the US. You can say that there are some, I won't call it deglobalization, but the word, the trade is decreasing. You have geopolitical, tensions.
There's a fragmentation going on.
You have technologies accelerating. The demographics will play a good role. This is a mega trend happening in Europe with the population aging.
Yes.
You can have climate change on top of it. And then, because all of this, then Europe is asking, what should we do? What is the next play? And I believe that there is a very interesting report that Mr. Draghi did.
Yes.
Where basically he defined the new priorities for Europe. And he said, first of all, we have to make sure that innovation, will catch up with the US or with other parts of the world, because they are really lagging behind.
Right.
The second priority is decarbonization and competitiveness.
Those are actually two themes that Morocco is pursuing too.
Well, the point is we can be an answer to all those things.
Right.
Let me just add maybe the third is security and defense, where you can find defense, you can find procurement of strategic material, you can find technological sovereignty, and then Morocco can respond to all those priorities.
And to do that, you need brain power. And that's why I want to ask Ilham. Now, we saw some of that in the video. Maybe you can say a little bit more. What is the potential for Morocco to work with the EU in different ways between companies, between governments, from an innovation standpoint, from a brain power standpoint?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. It's a great pleasure. Thank you, Minister Zidane and the whole Moroccan delegation. It's a great honor to be here. Listen, I think His Excellency said it very well. Europe lacks competitiveness. Draghi report, the 400 pages, is about the drama of industrial lack of competitiveness in Europe. So Europe needs partners. And it happens that Morocco is the gateway between Europe and Africa. Morocco was not blessed with oil and gas, by the way. And thanks God, you know, it's interesting because it's probably made Morocco less lazy, right? And Morocco became, in a way, and I left Morocco 30 years ago, so each time I came back, I'm just flabbergasted and impressed by the new Morocco, full of infrastructure. It has been blessed with wind, water, you know, and solar, obviously. So Morocco is reimagining that green kingdom, right, with an infrastructure which is unparalleled. My company, it happens that we are in 1 out of 2 EVs in the world. Has Syensqo inside. Guess what? 1 million cars being made in Morocco in the near future with EV technology, with the lowest total cost of ownership of LFP batteries, is attractive, is a magnet for investments. We are in 85% of the vehicle flying in the air, and you talked about aviation. Around Casablanca, there is an ecosystem, you are going to talk about this, I'm sure, where we are a leader in composite material for lightweighting.
Right.
Morocco is also, you know, a land of plants, and we are looking after biotechnology. So I acquired the company just a year ago, Azeris, because Morocco is the largest rosemary producer in the world. And we need extracts from rosemary to actually reinvent our chemistry, and we acquired actually our first company. But more importantly, is about human capital, is about people and people and people. I'm an advisory board member of UM6P. It's fascinating. It's the Harvard, MIT, Stanford of Morocco, 5,000 students. Half of them are women, actually, and girls, more than half, in STEM, in science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's what's even more important, is the youth and the human capital and the brains in Morocco.
Let me go to Stefan. And I know, Stefan Berton, you might have to catch a plane soon, so I want to. You let us know.
Meeting with my banker to finance.
Okay, good. We're lucky that. Okay, good. But let's pursue this a little bit about investment, because since 2022, you've had a partnership in Morocco. Sabina Aerospace Morocco with Lockheed Martin on maintenance, repair, overhaul, and upgrade of military aircraft and helicopters, up to 300 jobs. Is that one example? I guess that's one example of the investment opportunities that there are in Morocco, right?
Yeah, if you allow me, there are actually 2 activities in my group. So we're active in aerospace, and we're active in the ecosystem of the aerospace ecosystem in Morocco on 2 activities. We have one company called Sabca, where we manufacture parts for aviation, but also for defense and for space. We have another company which name is Sabina, and Sabina is active in maintenance, repair, and upgrade of aircraft. Both companies have no locations in Morocco. We started with the first one, so Sabca, and Sabca is present in Morocco since 2012. But in reality, Sabina was already a partner to the Royal Air Maroc 50 years ago. So it's not a yesterday story for us. It's a long-term story. Not because I like the country as well, because I was backpacking also 30 years ago.
Oh, you were, okay.
And I went back last year, but being a 50-year-old child with a credit card, it's a different trip. But anyway, I like the country. But as it was already said, the reason we're going to Morocco, and the same question was asked, because I'm also a member of the Supply Council of Airbus. Why are you pushing to go and invest on Morocco? And I would say it's pretty obvious when you know it. First, industry requires long-term industrial policy, stability. If you don't have a long-term industrial policy, you cannot invest. The second thing is you need access to the 2 key things, and the first one, of course, are people, talents, skilled people. You said ausgebildete Leute. It's very important to have this. The third one is access to facilities, energies, material, and so forth.
Indeed, yeah.
So these are the initial reasons why you go.
And you have those are all available
And
there.
those are all available. But then you might ask you the question, what would make the difference between Morocco and Romania from 20 years ago?
Good question.
The other low-cost country. And you might say two things. I say you are poetic, so you would say le supplément d'âme. Or you are thinking as a business. Actually, what I like in Morocco is the vision on the long term. First stage, you build the first layer of industry. Now I'm working on a program when we go in verticalization, which means starting from what is manual work into going up to the stage and accompanying also entrepreneurship. And I think that's the reason why you're interested to go in Morocco and instead in my company.
Can we go further on this Africa as a gateway?
Well, if you allow me, before I go there, let me make some comments, additional comments, because I think it's important.
Yeah.
Very interesting what this gentleman said about what are the benefits of going to Morocco.
Okay.
And for sure, stability is the first one.
Yeah.
But I think we're not talking about enough talent. Is absolutely, I mean, if you want to build a plant, well, you need stability, because then you don't build the plant, and then when you build it, you need to have talents. But the third thing is really competitiveness. And if you don't have competitiveness, then you don't go. Even if you have talent, you have the free trade agreement that allow you to sell your products everywhere. You have the logistics, the Tangier Med port that allows you to take those goods out. But you need competitiveness. And today, we have proven, if you take Peugeot 208 or the Dacia Sandero, that are made by Peugeot and by Renault, these are the biggest sellers in Europe. So it proves that we can build very competitive things in Morocco. And another thing that, let me compare to Romania now.
Okay.
I don't want to.
First, let's be nice to Romania,
anyway,
though, okay?
sorry, but you have given me, Well, Romania, I love this country, but Romania joined the EU. So what happened is salaries have increased a lot. People have left from East Europe to West Europe.
Okay.
So you have shortage in that. Last but not least is energy. Before, we were very lacking, competitive energy to give to, the manufacturers. Today, with the renewable energies, we can go very low on the cost. We have the potential, let me tell you that, of Venezuela or Nigeria in renewable energies, if you take the equivalent petrol, but in energy. So green energy is important because of the decarbonization.
Now, what about, let me go back to Ilham on challenges that you've faced in expanding business internationally. How can then EU-Morocco partnerships help to overcome those challenges? I guess it might follow along from what the ambassador said, right?
It follows very well. I think the EU, and frankly more than the EU, because Morocco has a free trade agreement with the United States of America. Morocco is a gateway to Africa, and Africa needs food security, and Morocco has a champion called OCP, right, which was a mining company before a fertilizer and now a downstream chemical player. So I think Morocco has a unique place in Europe, in Africa, in the world actually, to play that competitiveness hub. Stability is one, but the infrastructure is everything, and competitiveness and access to talents. His Excellency talks about renewable. When the potential of Dakhla, for example, is to produce green hydrogen at €1 a kilo or 1.5 or 2, this is amazing. This is at the level of Chile and South Africa and Australia.
Right.
So I think that's the beauty. Morocco didn't sleep on its laurel, didn't say it's enough for me to have phosphates and to have, agriculture and some tourism. But Morocco started building this industrial infrastructure, which is so critical. I look at it as a businesswoman. I need talent, I need infrastructure and energy, 24/7, 365 days a year. I need competitiveness. If I don't check, I don't invest, even if my heart is Moroccan. And that's why my team went there, and we traveled, few thousand kilometers. We bought a company, in plant-based, and now we're setting a Gen AI, believe it or not, office in Ben Gurir with the UMCSP, because they have one of the best biggest data scientist hub in Europe and in Africa.
Right.
And Mr. Zidane said it's Minister Zidane is that, you know, time zone-wise, it's very friendly. Speak all the languages. We heard, you know, German, English, whatever, French.
Yeah.
And that's the power of the Morocco of today and tomorrow.
Let me come back to Stefan about Morocco as a potential investment magnet. How can Morocco position itself as a competitive destination? We've heard some of the competitive aspects there, but especially in the context of these global economic shifts and supply chain reconfiguration. Supply chain reconfiguration for your companies must be quite a concern, right?
It is totally. So first of all, I didn't invest in Romania, but I decided to first invest in Morocco. But the reason I'm telling you is the reality of when you make that kind of a choice and you look at global economy, you consider it, and you're right. I think Europe as another default is regulation, over-regulation. Without agility, you cannot build a business and adapt.
Yes.
And in this time of crisis, you know, I'm board member of my company and CEO of my company more than 18 years. So I've gone all through all these crises. So agility is one key, regulation and the spirit of agility. The second thing to go in Morocco is this eagerness to adapt and to improve towards entrepreneurship, towards better company governance. And that's what makes that you want to go. I think there's also something, because let's be transparent, when you invest, you want returns. And the dividends policy, the fact that you can also repatriate the cash, because if not, there's no investment, it's a key thing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm a blunt guy, but I'm telling the truth.
Of course.
When there were times that you could not repatriate the money, you would not invest. It's not an investment, okay?
Right.
So I'm saying the maturity of the evolution of the model makes that you want to go there on top of the people. And now we are even transferring our decision-making capacity from Belgium there. Not that I want to stop here in Belgium, just we need competitiveness. And the third thing is market. There is no business without revenue, and the revenue is a market. You have an access door, I agree, to Africa, but more than this, to the Middle East, even to be transparent, to Israel, even to USA. In my area of work,
right.
I can sometimes do more business from Morocco than I can do from Belgium. So I'm
Ambassador,
fond of Morocco, but I'm pragmatic. I'm looking at the economic reality.
Thank you.
Ambassador, can I ask you about green growth? I mean, you touched on green growth a bit, right?
Yes.
About in what ways can the EU-Morocco partnership drive sustainable economic growth like green energy, pharmaceuticals, and technology?
So what is the question?
Yeah, so how can this partnership between the EU and Morocco
Between the
drive?
EU and Morocco?
Yeah.
Well, you're giving me the opportunity to say that we have a great partnership, and as you said, but we signed the free trade or the association back in 1996.
Yeah.
2025, partners have changed a little bit, so we are looking to how to strengthen the partnership for sure.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, it doesn't prevent us from working together.
Right.
And if you take, for example, we have signed what we call le Pacte Vert, you know, so, and in this it's included the decarbonization, green energy, green finance, all these kind of things.
Yes.
So basically, to be concrete, today, if you have some investors that come to Morocco to produce electricity from solar electricity, you know, from solar power, then they, and I know a great project that is happening as we speak, then they will be allowed, you know, and we will help them and we support them, and the EU also will support them to bring that electricity all the way to the UK, Germany, or everywhere else. That's an example. H2, hydrogen, green hydrogen. There are some big projects. Competitiveness of green hydrogen has to be thought of in the future, but at least you have to start somewhere. So that's also a very important thing. Circular economy, where basically what do we do with all this, unused or end-of-life things where we can, to recycle them.
Right.
So, and of course, you can think about the future, which is the battery, the vehicle, the electric cars.
Yeah.
And my friend Ali Siddiqui has this beautiful, he's saying, a battery made in Morocco battery for cars made with Morocco, where basically you have, this European car manufacturers building in Morocco electric cars with with a battery that can come from somewhere else.
Yep. I'm told I have less than 2 minutes left. So quick elevator pitches on where you see these relations between EU and Morocco. Ilham.
Well, I think the EU needs to take it very seriously, because in a world where there are geopolitical tensions, where trade, wars are raging between the US, China, and the EU, where China, by the way, is investing in Morocco a lot, and this is the battery makers are Chinese today, the best ones. Mm-hmm. So I think the EU has to choose its battle and choose the right partners. And Morocco has, not only because geographically it's 14 kilometers away, but it's actually because it's a gate to the very last emerging markets available to us called Africa.
Right. Right.
And I think Morocco has already built a lot of ties with African countries. Boton FDI is one of the largest foreign direct investors in Africa. It's actually allowing the food security for African, which is great. Right. But also it's becoming an industrial hub at a competitive level. So the EU has to take it seriously and probably build more, free trade agreements and bonds with Morocco.
Okay, good. Stefan, just last few words.
Very smart to add to what Ilham just said. Just one thing.
Yeah.
We have a special relationship. I'm 52 years old, and I don't know any Belgian who doesn't have a Moroccan friend, who doesn't have a friend who has Moroccan roots. Yeah. And I think maybe we as Belgium, we should contribute a little bit more to create this relationship. And that would be my dream. That's why I invest so much in Morocco, because I believe in the country, but also the supplément d'âme, I think it's something that matters in times of crisis.
Right, right. Ambassador, one quick word at the end?
I think that Europe should consider Morocco as part of the strategic, space.
Yeah.
If you consider Morocco as part of the strategic space, then everything can happen.
Great. Ambassador, Ilham, Stefan, thank you. A big hand to them. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Shukran. Thank you. Thank you. And Jane, all yours.
Fantastic. Passionate and punchy is what springs to mind. I thank you so much for that fantastic conversation. I'm sure they could have gone on all evening, but we do have to swiftly move on. We've got now our last live recording and broadcasting on YouTube coming up. The big question is a Euronews business program featuring in-depth conversations with industry leaders and experts. And the program addresses significant topics of today's agenda, such as innovation, decarbonisation, and Europe's economic landscape. And it aims to provide viewers with insights into the challenges and the opportunities facing and shaping the business world. Angela Barnes is our business editor and presents this show, and I'm delighted to welcome her to the stage now. If you could put your hands together, here's Angela.
Thank you, Jane. Thank you very much, and good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with you all tonight. And I should say, because this is a live recording, of course, welcome to The Big Question. Now, this is a series from Euronews where we speak to some of the most influential people in the world of business. And it's my pleasure to welcome to the stage this evening for this special episode, Mr. Ali Siddiqui, General Director of AMDI, the Moroccan Agency for Investment and Export Development. Pleasure to have you on the show, Mr. Siddiqui.
Thank you for having me.
Take a seat. So lots to talk about, Mr. Siddiqui, but first of all, let's start off by talking about how Morocco has emerged, of course, as we know, as a gateway between Europe and Africa. Can you just talk us through how the kingdom is leveraging its strategic position to foster regional growth and attract long-term partnerships?
Well, I would say that the first thing that has been spoken about Morocco was stability. Morocco is the second oldest monarchical system in history. This is the ground and the foundation of our nation. And it's also that gives us the ability to project and to have long-term planning. So combining stability with vision, I think, is the first and most important asset Morocco was able to provide investors with at a time where there is a lot of uncertainty in the world. On top of that political, let's say, stability, Morocco managed to have a very stable economy that goes together with a political stability. We have very healthy governance. If you look at the macroeconomic figures of Morocco, they're great. We have the best graded economy in Africa. Even our grade was upgraded last year. We went from BB plus with stable outlook to positive outlook. And now we're talking about something that happened after COVID, after the energy crisis. So it's telling of our capacity to provide our partners with a stable environment overall. This stability led to another leading asset of Morocco, which is a world-class infrastructure. We're not an oil and gas country, so building the quality, the infrastructure with this quality in Morocco took sophistication and dedication and engagement. And again, it is telling of the dynamics that the country is experiencing today. And this world-class, top-notch infrastructure helped us build world-class industrial ecosystems. So you see the plan is very clear and done step by step. If you add to that the fact that we are one of the most open economies in the world, one of the most open economies in the world. We have free trade agreements with 90 countries, more than 55 free trade agreements that open a market of more than 2.5 billion consumers worldwide, and we are also the only country in Africa to have a free trade agreement with Europe and the United States. As a fun fact, we're also the closest country to Europe to have a free trade agreement with the United States. So again, the openness was part of the recipe, and of course, three main assets to add to that: human capital, trained, educated, with an average age of 29, which is, compared to Europe, Western Europe, you know, the average age is 44. And at a time where you have shortages in talents, in HR, this is a great, the greatest asset of Morocco. Renewable energy and ESG compatible environment, that's also one of the biggest assets that Morocco is providing investors with. And last but not least, and this is something that is difficult to explain because you actually need to experience it. Morocco is execution driven. When we commit, we deliver. We honor our signature. And to take very simple examples, when you're in one of our special economic zones and you request a construction permit, it takes less than 2 weeks. So we are dedicated and we're execution driven.
Mr. Siddiqui, I'm going to come back to you on the energy sector in just a moment, but I just want to pick up on what specific incentives or reforms has Morocco introduced recently to make the investment process essentially easier and more transparent for European businesses?
Well, Morocco has benefited from the advanced status with the European Union. So even from years ago, we've been adapting the regulatory framework to be compatible to the one in Europe. So, and a European investor in Morocco, does not think that the environment is different from the one he has in Europe. I'm talking about the regulatory framework. On top of that, His Majesty the King Mohammed VI in 2021 called for a complete new charter for investment, which would provide, of course, incentives for investors, but even more than that, it works on creating an environment, a suitable environment for investors, less bureaucracy, more efficiency in the way we deal with the administrative processes, and a dedicated ministry for investors has been created. So again, it is a great example of things that have been done in the country to assist and to help and support investors. And of course, there is the Moroccan Agency for Investment and Export Development that was specifically created to help investors answer the question and provide end-to-end services. And we work as a one-stop shop for any kind of investor.
Mr. Siddiqui, thank you very much for sharing your insights on that. A very interesting time, of course, for Europe, whilst it's trying to stay ahead with competition and and get through the regulatory framework, as you mentioned there. And that's something, of course, that Europe is constantly striving for at the moment. And Morocco has also been making strides, Mr. Siddiqui, in the renewable energy sector, as you touched on. How are you encouraging investment into Morocco's green economy, particularly from Europe again?
To be frank, we don't really need to encourage investments in the green energy or the green economy sector. because now people know and understand that Morocco has a key role to play, and they come by themselves. What we do, of course, we support them and we connect them with any stakeholder in the industry in Morocco, in this industry in Morocco. IRENA, which is the International Renewable Energy Agency, estimated the potential, the capacity for green energy generation in Morocco of barely more than 40,000 gigawatt. This is huge, enough to power the entire European continent. And so this, again, it's a fact. Morocco is now a fact when it comes to decarbonization and supporting Europe's decarbonization strategy. What we want to make sure of is that this potential is used to impact positively the Moroccan economy. As I said, we have a great young population entering the job market. That's a huge opportunity, but also it's a challenge. We need to create jobs. So now the strategy is how can we leverage our natural resource, sustainable resource, in order to create jobs, sustainable jobs for our young people entering the job market. And the good news, they're talented, skilled, and educated. So investors are now we're working with them in order to build together this green economy, Euro-Mediterranean green economy.
Looking to the future, Mr. Siddiqui, let's look ahead to 2030. What's your vision for Morocco's role in the global economy, and how critical will partnerships with Europe be in achieving that vision?
Well, the vision is pretty clear. As I said, Morocco is now, it's a fact, it's a world-class hub for sustainable investment and trade. So we do everything to keep on supporting this value proposition, this Moroccan value proposition. The good news, it's exactly the one that Europe has for its future. When we discuss with our European counterpart, we understand that green and ESG compatible industries are important for Europeans. They are also looking for additional efficiency, cost efficiency, competitiveness, and also for future markets. And so Morocco has that opportunity to be a medium between Europe and the rest of Africa, building the continent. I mean, Morocco is definitely a market of the present, but Africa is also the market of the future. And if we want to make sure that we have all the elements required in order to build the future of Europe, we need to focus on Africa. This is exactly what Morocco has done. And so our agenda for 2030 is pretty clear. It means keeping on sharing our experiences with the rest of our continent. It's also putting ourselves as a great partner to Europe in order to be competitive enough to be facing additional competition for outside of Europe. And clearly, we think that Morocco is part of the solution for the European companies.
Excellent, Mr. Siddiqui. Thank you very much for sharing your insights with us on the big question. It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. And thank you very much to all our viewers at home for watching. See you again next time.
Thank you for having me.
Well, pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Angela and Mr. Siddiqui. What a fantastic recording. As we mentioned earlier, you can watch all of these back going onto the Euronews website after the event. We do, though, now have a short video to share with you that encompasses all that Morocco now has to offer. A bold vision of a nation that has redefined its place on the global economic map. From cutting-edge industries to sustainable innovation, Morocco is building the future today. This is more than a story of growth, it's a statement of ambition, resilience, and global leadership. Let the journey begin.
From our cars to our planes, pieces of the world around us can be traced back to here, Morocco. For decades, the kingdom has been developing state-of-the-art manufacturing hubs, resilient supply chains, and green energy solutions. Morocco is now an industrial powerhouse. The country is a crucial gateway to international markets, home to 22 shipping ports, including this one, Tangier Med. It handles over 100 million tons of cargo in a single year, and that includes hundreds of thousands of cars. Morocco is the leading car manufacturer in Africa, with facilities like this one, the Renault Group factory in Tangier City, its first 100% carbon-free plant designed for zero emissions. Its rapidly growing $2 billion aeronautic industry is also fostering a carbon-free vision for its future. Renewable energy is big business in Morocco. The country has the capacity to produce 44% of its energy from renewables and is targeting 52% by 2030. Much of that comes from here, Noor Ouazzazate, the largest concentrated solar plant in the world. And here, the mountains of Tangier, where wind farms can help offset millions of tons of CO2. So, whether it's made in Morocco, connected by Morocco, or powered in Morocco, it's Morocco now.
And to add to that slogan at the end, whether it's made in Morocco, assembled in Morocco, or shipped from Morocco, it is Morocco now. Do you know there's hardly a plane in the sky today without a piece that has been proudly crafted in the kingdom? That's quite remarkable. From factories to ports, from innovation labs to global runways, Morocco is building the future. Now, our evening is slowly drawing to a close, but I would like to welcome His Excellency Karim Zidane back to the stage for his closing remarks.
Bonsoir à tous. Excellence, Monsieur Mohamed Amr, ambassadeur du Royaume du Maroc en Belgique. Excellence, Monsieur Ahmed Reda Chami, ambassadeur du Royaume du Maroc auprès de l'Union européenne, mesdames et messieurs, chers amis. Alors que s'achèvent nos travaux, je tiens à vous adresser mes plus sincères remerciements pour votre présence, votre attention et la qualité exceptionnelle des échanges qui ont marqué cette journée. Permettez-moi également de saluer tout particulièrement l'AMDIE et nos partenaires d'Euronews dans l'engagement dans l'organisation de cet événement ici à Bruxelles, a contribué à faire de cette rencontre un espace de dialogue stratégique à la hauteur des enjeux que nous partageons. Le thème qui nous a réunis, le Maroc et l'Europe, partenaires pour façonner une croissance régionale à travers des alliances stratégiques, est ambitieux, mais il est aussi réaliste. Il reflète une conviction profonde, celle que face aux défis communs, qu'ils soient économiques, environnementaux ou géopolitiques, seule une coopération sincère et structurée permettra de bâtir un avenir partagé. Au cours de mon entretien avec Euronews, nous avons évoqué les transformations que traversent aussi le Maroc et l'Europe. Confrontés à la nécessité de repenser les chaînes d'approvisionnement de l'Europe, de renforcer sa souveraineté énergétique et de diversifier ses partenaires économiques dans un monde en mutation. Sous la conduite éclairée de Sa Majesté le roi Mohamed VI que Dieu l'assiste, le Maroc, fort de sa stabilité, de ses réformes structurelles, de sa compétitivité et de son positionnement stratégique, géostratégique unique, se tient prêt à être un allié fiable, agile et visionnaire dans cette dynamique. Car oui, mesdames et messieurs, le Maroc n'est plus seulement un voisin du Sud, il est un partenaire stratégique du Nord. Il est un trait d'union entre continents, un catalyseur de coopération triangulaire, un acteur déterminé du co-développement. Des secteurs communs comme les énergies renouvelables et particulièrement l'hydrogène vert, l'automobile, l'aéronautique, l'agro-industrie ou les industries chimiques ne sont pas seulement des opportunités d'investissement, ils sont les leviers d'une croissance durable, inclusive et ancrée dans l'avenir. Ce que nous proposons, c'est un partenariat gagnant-gagnant, fondé sur la co-création de valeur, l'innovation partagée et le respect mutuel. Ce partenariat ne s'adresse pas uniquement aux grandes institutions, mais surtout aux PME, aux start-up, aux territoires et surtout aux talents, qu'ils soient basés en Europe ou au Maroc. Le Maroc de demain se construit avec l'Europe d'aujourd'hui. Et cette construction ne peut être que collaborative, stratégique et humaine. Mesdames et messieurs, ce forum n'est pas une fin de soi, mais le début d'un chemin renforcé. Je formule le vœu que les connexions initiées ici deviennent des projets concrets de demain, que les idées partagées aujourd'hui deviennent les investissements de demain et que le dialogue que nous avons ouvert ici à Bruxelles se poursuive, s'intensifie et se traduise par des alliances à fort impact pour nos régions. Je vous remercie encore une fois pour votre mobilisation, votre confiance et votre engagement en faveur d'un avenir partagé entre le Maroc et l'Europe. Merci, à très bientôt sur les terres d'opportunités marocaines. Merci.
Thank you very much, Minister, for those kind closing remarks. And thank you to all our speakers and panelists who've been with us this evening. Thanks to you, our audience, for being such a fantastic audience with us. I hope you have enjoyed this evening. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank all of the people that you don't get to see up here on the stage, the people behind the scenes without whom tonight would not have been possible at all. Couple more thank yous, of course, to Moroccan Investment and Export Development Agency under the flagship Morocco Now and the Ministry of Investment. We've had lots of food for thought this evening, and on that point, I guess you're all pretty hungry, but we would be delighted if you would join us for a bit of food to eat with us, do a bit more networking. We'll see you very shortly in the next room, but for now, have a great remainder of your evening. Good night from me. Thank you.